divine war does not end with a truce. It concludes with a verdict. And this verdict has just been delivered by the highest court imaginable. The cosmic hammer has fallen and the case is closed. For years you were on the front line of a battle you felt in your waters, but which your eyes could not always see. You absorbed blows from every direction, carrying the weight of a conflict that seemed ancient and deeply personal. You were told that it was all in your head, but what they didn't understand is that the battle was never solely against people. It was against an entire timeline of lack, struggle, oppression, and that timeline has just collapsed. The war drums have fallen silent. The spiritual static that filled every waking moment of your life has vanished. All that remains is the resounding echo of your victory. A new mission has been entrusted to you. It is the most difficult one you have ever received. You must do nothing. The battle is over. You have won. Your new job is to rest and to recover. Number 1, the divine ceasefire. Understand this first. The calm you are beginning to feel is not a trap. It is not the calm before another storm. It is the unconditional surrender of the storm. It is a spiritual fact, as real as the ground beneath your feet. For so long, your mind was in a state of constant alert, like a soldier on perpetual watch. Every phone call could be a threat. Every email a hidden bomb. Every new person a potential infiltrator. Your nervous system was wired for war because you were indeed at war. It wasn't paranoia. It was an accurate reading of the spiritual climate. You were living in occupied territory and your spirit knew it. The tension in your shoulders, the shallow breaths, the inability to fully relax, that was the uniform you wore every day. It was the armor of a warrior who knew the fight could resume at any moment. It was the reason you could never fully savor moments of peace. A part of your mind was always on guard duty, constantly scanning the horizon for the next inevitable intrusion. That vigilance was for survival, but overnight, something gave way and it wasn't you. It was them. It was their supply line. It was the very source of their power. A divine ceasefire has been declared, but this is not a negotiation between two equal parties. It was an order from the ultimate authority that made them lay down their arms. The other side had no say. They were simply notified that their access was revoked, their contract terminated, the spiritual space permanently closed off to them. That buzzing in your ears you mistook for tinnitus was actually the sound of their psychic attacks, their hateful whispers, their constant broadcast of failure and fear. Listen carefully. Do you hear that silence? It is the sound of their transmission tower collapsing. It is the sound of their frequency being erased from the cosmic airwaves. Their ammunition was gossip. Their strategy was gaslighting, and the divine has just cut their communication lines. They are now screaming into a dead telephone, wondering why you are not responding. In the coming days, your body will have to learn this new reality. You will wake up ready to absorb a shock only to find peace. You will catch yourself scanning rooms for threats that no longer exist. This is the muscle memory of a soldier, and it will take time for those muscles to unclench. Be patient with yourself. You are deprogramming from a lifetime of conflict. The hypervigilance that kept you safe is now obsolete. It was a necessary tool for a specific season, but that season is over. To continue carrying it now would be like wearing a heavy coat in the desert. It would only weigh you down and exhaust you. Your new mission requires you to be light. It requires you to trust the silence. You might feel a phantom limb sensation, the impression that a part of you is missing. That missing part is the weight of the war. You are learning to walk again without the chains you had grown so accustomed to. This lightness is your new strength. They thought the war would last forever. They were counting on wearing you down, exhausting you until you gave up. Ultimately, their entire strategy relied on a war of attrition. They believed your resources, your hope, your faith, your strength were limited. And they were right about one thing. Your human resources were limited, but you were not fighting with human resources alone. You were sustained by an infinite source. You were the chosen agent of heaven. And although your tour of duty was long and brutal, the chain of command you answer to never lacks for reinforcements. What they have just witnessed is not you winning. It is the power behind you deciding the game was over. They were not fighting a person, they were fighting a principle. They were fighting a divine promise. And that is a battle that cannot be won with gossip, slander, sabotage, or black magic. Someone learned this the hard way. The ceasefire is not a suggestion, it is the new law of your territory. The war is over. It is time to come home to yourself. This energy is real. This victory is a spiritual and physical fact to formalize its arrival in your life. This is not a request, it is your new protocol. It is your activation into a new reality. Like this video to anchor the energy of this divine verdict into your timeline. This is you signing the official peace treaty. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of those who have completed their tour of duty. This is your call. Comment 77 below. This is the divine code that confirms you have received this transmission. It is your energetic signature on the celestial document that declares your victory. Finally, let this video play in the background. The words are encoded with frequencies of peace and restoration. Let them recalibrate your subconscious to wash away the residues of war and saturate your mind with the undeniable truth of your new season. You are no longer a soldier. You are a sovereign. Number 2, the demobilization of the spiritual soldier. The hardest part of leaving a war is not the last battle, but the first day of peace. For the spiritual soldier, the identity of a fighter has become a second skin. It is what you know. It is how you survived. Now you are being asked to remove it, and it feels like tearing off your own flesh. This is the process of demobilization. It is a sacred and deliberate dismantling of the battle-hardened persona you were forced to build. Piece by piece, the armor must be taken off. First, the helmet of hypervigilance. This was the piece that constantly scanned the horizon for threats, that analyzed every word for hidden meanings, that never switched off. Taking it off means consciously choosing to believe you are safe, even when your instincts scream otherwise. It means letting a call go to voicemail without your heart racing. It means accepting a compliment without looking for the hidden intent. The world is no longer a minefield. The mines have been defused. You must actively resist the urge to create new mines in your mind, to project old fears onto new peaceful landscapes. Next, the breastplate of defensiveness. It was forged in the fires of betrayal and misunderstanding. It was built to protect your heart from the constant barrage of judgment and accusation. It made you ready to justify your existence at any moment, to have your evidence ready to explain your motivations to people who had already judged you guilty. Removing it is to stand in your truth without needing others' validation. It is the quiet confidence that says, "What you think of me is no longer part of my mission." The people who forced you to wear this breastplate are no longer under your jurisdiction. Their opinions have been rendered null and void by a higher court. You no longer need to defend the territory because the territory has been divinely secured. Your heart is no longer a besieged fortress. It is a temple at peace. This will feel terrifying at first. You will feel exposed. But this exposure is what allows the true divine light to enter and heal you. Then comes the sword of sharp words and quick retorts. For so long, your tongue had to be a weapon. You learned to cut down arguments, dismantle lies, to strike preemptively to avoid being hit. It kept predators at bay. It earned you a reputation as someone not to be messed with. But in this new season of rest, that sword is too heavy to carry. Its energy is too harsh for the tender landscape of your own healing. Demobilizing this weapon means learning the power of silence. It means realizing that not every battle needs to be fought because the war is already won. It means letting false narratives float in the air and die on their own, because you are no longer obligated to waste your breath on things that are not true. In the days to come, you will be tested on this. Someone will try to provoke you, to pull you back into an old fight. They will throw a familiar insult, a trigger specifically designed for the old you. Your silence, your refusal to even pick up the sword, will be the most devastating response you can give. It will show them, and you, that you are no longer that soldier. You must also lay down the gauntlets of control, the need to manage every outcome, and micromanage every detail to prevent disaster. The universe is your new logistics officer. Let it handle the details. This process of demobilization will feel strange. It will make you feel vulnerable. It will make you feel weak. This is the illusion of the old programming. True strength is not the ability to fight indefinitely. It is the wisdom to know when the fight is over. Your body will feel it first. The chronic pains in your neck and back will begin to fade. Those were the phantom pains from the weight of the armor. The knot in your stomach will begin to loosen. You will sleep more deeply than you have in years because your mind will finally stand down from its watch. This is not a passive process. It is an active choice you must make every day. When the instinct to fight rises up, you must consciously command it to stand down. You must remind yourself out loud if you have to. The battle is over. I have won. I'm safe now. You are re-educating your entire being for a new reality. You are not a soldier in peacetime. You are royalty beginning its reign. You are trading the battlefield for the throne room, and that requires a whole new wardrobe, a new posture, and a new way of carrying yourself. Number 3, the sacred inventory of wounds. Now that the armor is off, you can see the wounds it was hiding. The second phase of your new mission is a sacred inventory. This is not about reopening old wounds to feel the pain again. It is about honoring the fact of your victory. A soldier does not return from war pretending he was never hit. He goes to the infirmary. He allows the medic to assess the damage. He receives the necessary treatment for a full recovery. Your time in the divine infirmary has begun. This is a period of deep and sometimes painful reflection. But it is reflection with a purpose. Every scar tells a story, not of your weakness, but of the enemy's desperation. You are not looking back to live there. You are looking back to free any part of you still trapped on that old battlefield. It is an act of soul retrieval guided by the divine. You must look at the betrayal. That person or group of people in whom you had absolute trust. Those who smiled to your face while sharpening the knife. Their betrayal was not an act of random cruelty. It was a calculated military strike. They were assigned to get close to you, to learn your weaknesses, to strike at your most vulnerable moment, to take you out of the fight. The pain was immense. It was designed to be, but look closer, you are still here. The wound they inflicted did not kill you. It scarred over a part of you that was too naive, too trusting. That scar is not a mark of shame, it is your medal of honor. It is the proof that you survived a direct hit from an enemy agent and kept on walking. In this sacred inventory, thank that wound for the wisdom it gave you. Acknowledge the pain, then release the person who inflicted it from your energetic field. They are ghosts of a finished war. They have no power here. They were a necessary evil, a harsh teacher in the divine curriculum of discernment. Next, you must tend to the wounds of isolation. For years you felt utterly alone. Friends drifted away. Family didn't understand you. You were an outcast, a lone wolf moving through a world that seemed not to comprehend you. That isolation was also a strategic maneuver by the enemy. An army seeks to isolate a powerful soldier before attacking. They cut you off from your support systems to make you feel weak and exposed. But heaven hijacked their plan. The isolation was not a punishment, it was a protection. It was a sacred quarantine. It kept you away from spies, saboteurs, and well-intentioned but ill-equipped people who would have held you back or diluted your focus. In that solitude, you learned to rely on your own connection to the divine. You learned to hear God's voice without the static of others' opinions. That solitude forged an unbreakable bond between you and your Creator. The scar of loneliness is the mark of a self-sufficient leader who was trained in private by the highest power in the universe. It is the seal of your sovereignty. Next, you must heal the wound of being misunderstood. The constant pain of having your intentions twisted and your character assassinated. This was a form of psychological warfare designed to make you doubt your own sanity. They painted you as the villain in a story where you were the one being attacked. This wound made you question your own goodness. Examining this wound now, you see it had nothing to do with you. It was a projection of their own inner corruption. They had to misunderstand you to justify their mistreatment of you. This scar is the proof of your integrity. It shows that you remained true to yourself even when the whole world was presented with a false version of you. It taught you that divine validation is the only validation that matters. Finally, you must heal the wounds of exhaustion and near despair. The moments when you were ready to give up. The nights you cried yourself to sleep, begging for it all to stop. The times your faith hung by a fragile thread. Those were not moments of failure. They were moments of spiritual endurance training. You were pushed to the absolute limit of your human capacity so you could discover the divine capacity lying dormant within you. Every time you wanted to quit but got up for one more day, you were building a spiritual muscle. That soul-deep weariness was the feeling of your spirit stretching into a new dimension of strength. The scars of your despair are the proof of your resilience. They are the receipts that show how much pressure you can withstand. They are your credentials for the next phase of your life. As you conduct this inventory, the divine physicians are at work. You might feel sudden waves of sadness or anger. Let them come. This is not a relapse, it is the poison being drawn out. Tears will fall not from new pain, but from the final cleansing of the old toxins of battle. Do not rush this process. It is sacred work. This is how you recover. Number 4, learning the language of stillness. After existing for years in the deafening noise of combat, stillness feels like a foreign country. You have arrived on its shores, but you do not speak the language. The language of war was loud, urgent, and chaotic. Its vocabulary consisted of words like defense, strategy, attack, and survival. The language of stillness is quiet, patient, and poised. Its vocabulary includes receive, allow, be, and trust. Your new mission requires you to become fluent in this new tongue, and as with learning any language, it will feel awkward and frustrating at first. Your conflict-conditioned mind will crave the familiar chaos. It will try to create drama where there is none. It will interpret peace as boredom. This is a critical stage where many veterans of spiritual wars stumble. They mistake peace for a lack of purpose and rush into a new, unnecessary conflict just to feel something familiar. You must resist this. You will feel an irresistible urge to be productive. You will wake up, and your first thought will be, what must I fight today? What problem must I solve? The absence of an immediate threat will create a vacuum, and your old programming will rush to fill it with manufactured anxiety. You will scroll through your phone looking for outrage. You will replay old arguments in your head. You will invent future scenarios to worry about. This is the spiritual equivalent of detox. Your system is purging its addiction to cortisol and adrenaline. It is craving the familiar chemical rush of a crisis. Your job is to gently refuse it. Your job is to sit in the quiet and breathe through the discomfort of peace. That boredom you feel is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that everything is right. It is the fertile void, the sacred space where your new instructions can finally be downloaded. The divine cannot deliver a new blueprint to a construction site that is still noisy, chaotic, and filled with the debris of the old war. The stillness is the act of clearing that site. In the coming weeks, you must practice the grammar of stillness. This means taking time to do nothing, literally nothing. No phone, no television, no books, no podcasts. Just you and your own presence. At first, it will be torture. Your mind will race. But slowly, as you commit to this practice, something will shift. You will begin to hear the whispers beneath the noise. You will notice the way light hits the wall. You will feel the rhythm of your own heartbeat. This is the first lesson in the language of stillness, observation without judgment. You are not trying to accomplish anything. You are simply learning to exist in the present moment, a moment that for the first time is completely safe. Extend this practice. Take a walk with no destination. Listen to the sounds of your environment without labeling them. Feel the texture of a leaf. This is not empty time. It is resensitizing your soul to the frequency of creation itself, the frequency of life without threat. This is not laziness. It is a divine mandate. The rest you are undertaking is active, not passive. You are integrating the victory. You are allowing your soul to catch up to the reality your body now inhabits. The old world operated on the principle of striving. You had to chase, struggle, force things to happen. That was the law of the battlefield. The new world you have graduated into operates on the principle of resonance. You do not chase. You attract. Your stillness is what magnetizes your blessings to you. Your next great opportunity will not come from a frantic job search. It will come as a sudden idea while you are sitting on a park bench. Your next healthy relationship will not come from endless swiping on apps. It will appear effortlessly when you are content in your own company. You were taught that your worth lay in what you did. God is now teaching you that your power lies in who you are. Learning the language of stillness is the most productive work you can do right now. It is the prerequisite for the next glorious chapter of your life. It is the curriculum for kings and queens. Number 5, the enemy's post-war confusion. While you are learning the language of stillness, your former adversaries are experiencing a very different reality. They are in a state of deep and growing confusion. Imagine an army equipped to the teeth arriving on the battlefield at dawn, only to discover the war was declared over at midnight. Their opponent is gone. The field is empty. Their weapons are heavy and useless in their hands. This is the spiritual state of those who were aligned against you. Their entire identity, their sense of purpose was wrapped up in their opposition to you. Your struggle gave their life meaning. Your reactions fed their ego. Your pain was their victory. Now you are gone. You have been energetically and dimensionally relocated. They are punching a ghost. Their entire world was defined by its opposition to yours. Now that your world has shifted to a new plane, theirs has lost its anchor and is beginning to drift into chaos. Their lives are beginning to unravel, and this has nothing to do with vengeance or karma as people understand it. It is simply spiritual physics. For so long they focused all their energy, their vitriol, their negativity toward you. You were the target absorbing their poison. You were the lightning rod for their inner chaos. Now that the lightning rod has been removed, the lightning has nowhere to go but back to its source. The chaos they tried to create in your life is now erupting in their own homes, careers, and minds. They are being forced to consume the poison they were serving you. They thought they were controlling you, but now they are discovering that heaven was controlling them, and the bill has come due. The energy they spent trying to block you was a massive loan from the universe, taken out against their own future. The payment is now being collected with interest. This is not a punishment. It is an accounting, a balancing of the books. You will begin to hear things through the grapevine. A sudden job loss, a messy public breakup, a strange illness doctors can't diagnose, a legal problem arising from nowhere. The business they built on a foundation of lies will suddenly face an overwhelming audit. The reputation they so carefully cultivated will be shattered by an unexpected truth bursting into the open. It will seem like a string of bad luck, but it is not. It is a spiritual audit. They were operating with a fraudulent energetic credit card, using your light as collateral. Their line of credit has been cut. The assets are being seized. When you hear this news, your first instinct might be a flicker of satisfaction. That is human. But the spirit in you, the one learning the language of peace, will feel something else, a detached pity. You will see them not as monsters, but as lost souls who made a terrible spiritual miscalculation. Their downfall is not your victory, but a tragic and inevitable consequence of their own choices. The most confusing part for them is your silence. It is driving them insane. They will make desperate attempts to re-engage you, to pull you back onto the battlefield. They will send a provocative message. They will ask a mutual friend to pass on gossip. They will post something passive-aggressive online, bait for you. They might even try a fake apology, a hollow attempt to regain access to your energy now that their own supply is depleted. They are tapping on a bear that has left the forest. They are screaming into the void. Your lack of response is the ultimate confirmation of their defeat. It tells them that you are so far out of their reach that you cannot even be bothered to acknowledge them. Your silence is not a tactic. It is a fact. You are simply no longer there. They are fighting a memory. Let them. Your new job is not to watch them fall. Your new job is to focus on your own recovery. Their post-war confusion and unraveling is between them and their creator. You have graduated. Do not go back to a school you have already passed. Number 6. Recalibrating your reality field. As your inner world transforms, your outer world has no choice but to follow. This is not magical thinking. It is divine law. You are a broadcasting tower. And for years, because of the war you were in, you were broadcasting on a frequency of struggle, survival, and defense. That frequency naturally attracted experiences, people, and environments that matched it. That is why you always found yourself in conflict, why you seemed to attract difficult people, why your environment often felt hostile. You were not defective. You were stationed in a war zone as part of your mission. Now, through your rest and healing, you are consciously changing the channel. You are beginning to broadcast on a frequency of peace, sovereignty, and grace. And your reality field is rapidly recalibrating to match this new signal. Think of it like a radio dial. You have moved from a chaotic, static-filled station to a clear, harmonious frequency. And anything that cannot vibrate at this new frequency is simply fading out. This is where you will begin to see tangible, almost magical changes in your daily life. It will start small. The difficult neighbor who played loud music at all hours will suddenly announce they are moving. The toxic coworker who made your job hell will be transferred to another department or will leave their position. The constant stream of bad news on your feed will be replaced by inspiring stories. These are not coincidences. They are cosmic alignments. The universe is cleaning up your environment to match your inner state. Anything that vibrates to the old frequency of chaos can no longer exist in your immediate vicinity. They are being escorted, gently or not, out of your reality field. This includes relationships. People who were only connected to your struggle will drift away, not out of malice, but because you no longer have anything in common. In their place, new people will arrive. Individuals who resonate with your peace and emerging purpose. These connections will feel effortless, supportive, and deeply authentic. Your physical senses will change. You will notice colors seem more vibrant, food tastes better, music sounds clearer. This is because the spiritual static of the war was dampening your senses. It was a film of grime over your perception of reality. As that grime is washed away in your period of rest, you begin to experience the world in high definition for the first time. The very air in your home will feel different. It will be lighter and cleaner. You might feel a spontaneous urge to declutter, to throw out old objects tied to your past. This is your spirit guiding you to physically remove anything that still carries the frequency of the old timeline. You are making space for the blessings that are coming. You are clearing room energetically and physically for the new life arriving. This recalibration will also affect your finances and opportunities. Before, every dollar felt like a struggle. Every opportunity had a hidden catch or a difficult gatekeeper. That was the economy of war. You are now entering a peacetime economy. Resources will begin to flow to you with an ease that might feel suspicious at first. An unexpected check will arrive in the mail. A perfect client will find you out of nowhere. An idea that comes to you in a dream will turn into a viable source of income. This is the universe reimbursing you for your time on the front lines. It will seem like luck, but it is divine compensation. Your job is not to question it or feel guilty about it. Your job is to receive it. Your worth was never in question. Your circumstances were the problem. Now that your circumstances have been upgraded, your flow is restored. Pay attention to synchronicities, the numbers you see, the songs you hear, the right people appearing at the right time. This is your new reality confirming itself to you. It is the universe winking at you, letting you know the recalibration is successful. You are no longer fighting reality. You are co-creating it. Number 7, the dawn of the new mission. This period of rest and recovery is not the end goal. It is the mandatory, non-negotiable preparation for what comes next. A soldier does not win a war only to retire into a life of total idleness. He is given a new role, one that matches his proven strength and hard-won wisdom. Your new mission is on the horizon, and it will be nothing like the old one. The old mission was to endure, to survive, to hold the line. It was rooted in defense. The new mission is to create, to build, to expand. It is rooted in sovereignty. You fought to secure a piece of territory. Now you will build a kingdom upon it. This is the difference between being a security guard for a building and being the architect who designs an entire city. The skills are different, the mindset is different, and the scale of impact is exponentially greater. A new kind of energy is beginning to build within you. It is not the frantic, anxious energy of a warrior always ready to fight. That was adrenaline, a fuel for emergencies. This new energy is calm, deep, powerful, and self-sustaining. It is the energy of a creator, a ruler, a leader. It is the silent hum of a massive generator that has just been switched on. You will notice new ideas flowing to you with ease. Solutions to problems that tormented you for years will suddenly become obvious. A new sense of purpose will begin to crystallize in your heart. It will not be loud or demanding. It will be a calm, unshakable certainty. This is the blueprint of your new mission being downloaded into your spirit. The rest you took was to clear your internal hard drive so this massive new file could be installed without corruption. The boredom was the installation progress bar slowly filling up. Your new mission will not feel like work. It will feel like play. It will be so deeply aligned with your core essence, with the gifts you were born to share, that it will flow from you with joy and ease. Where before you had to push boulders up a hill, now it will feel like floating down a powerful river. People on the outside will look at you and say you are lucky or blessed. They will not see the years of brutal warfare that preceded this season of grace. They will not see the scars you carry. Let them call it what they want. You will know the truth. It is not luck. It is your divine pay. It is the retirement plan for a spiritual veteran. It is the spoils of the war you won. The joy you feel in this new work is not a bonus. It is a requirement. Joy is the fuel of the new kingdom. It is the highest vibrational frequency, and by operating from a place of joyful purpose, you automatically create a reality that benefits not only you, but everyone your work touches. Do not be afraid of this new power. You were trained in the fires of adversity to wield it with integrity and wisdom. The trials you endured were not just about survival, they were about the refinement of character. You were tested for pride, for greed, for vengeance, and you passed. That is why you can be trusted with the influence and resources that are coming. Your new mission might be to launch a business, write a book, lead a community, create art, heal others. The form does not matter. The essence is the same. You will be a source of light and a beacon of hope for others. You will build a safe place in the world, a reflection of the peace you have cultivated within. You will not have to force it or promote it heavily. People who have been through their own war will be drawn to the light you radiate. They will see in you the living proof that victory is possible. The battle is over. The recovery is underway. Your reign is about to begin.